Impact live on Showtime pay-per-view. If you are a fight fan, you are not going to want to miss it. And speaking of things you're not going to want to miss, our very own Steve Farhood right now is joined by a very compelling guest. Steve?
Floyd Mayweather, your fighter Chris Pearson just escaped with one. Do you feel that way?
I feel that, you know, in a sport of boxing, sometimes when a guy get knocked down, you know, a lot of fans, they know boxing, but I feel that Chris Pearson won unanimous, and he fought a tough customer tonight.
So you thought he won the fight?
Absolutely. But, you know, that comes with the territory. But I think it's best that a fighter, you know, is faced with difficult, different styles early on in their career, so they're able to adjust and adapt when they face with, you know, tough obstacles later on in their career.
All right, Floyd, to get to your career for a minute as a fighter, not a promoter.
Yes.
Finally, the announcement was made. There was a lot of conjecture. Everybody was waiting. Was it going to be Amir Khan? Was it going to be Marcos Maidana for Floyd Mayweather on May 3rd? You chose Maidana. Tell us why.
Maidana, he's came back lately very, very impressive. A lot of great wins lately. And whereas Amir Khan is 2-2 in his last 4 fights. So I chose the better man.
Maidana is a big puncher. We know how he fights. He brings it every fight. Now happy birthday, by the way. You turned 37 on Monday.
Yes.
Last year, you got a cake on Showtime Championship Boxing. This is a lower budget show. You didn't even get a cupcake. But anyway, you chose Maidana. Now, at some point in your career, at some point in your life, Floyd, you're going to slow down a little bit. Maidana is the kind of fighter that if that happens in May, he's a very dangerous guy. Do you see this fight that way? That seems to be the selling point of the fight.
I mean, this is a very, very difficult fight for me. You know, this is a guy that I know that I can't overlook. You know, each and every time, you know, Marcos Maidana go out there, he gives it his best. You know, I know I have to go out there and be at my best. Sit down with my father, go over a brilliant game plan. And hopefully this training camp goes well. You know, Maidana is tough. He's champion just like I'm champion. So when you bring the two together, you get nothing but excitement. So this is a guy I know that I can't overlook. I must push myself to the limit. And May 3rd, the money team will be ready.
We look forward to that. Now, we asked our fans on Twitter to send us questions for you, and we're going to give them to you in rapid-fire style to #AskFloyd. You ready?
Yes.
I want quick answers, all right?
Quick answers.
All right. Your weight right now?
150.
You look good. Top 3 favorite fighters, excluding yourself?
Ricardo Lopez, Aaron Pryor, Larry Holmes.
Good taste. I like that. Toughest fight you've had in your pro career?
I don't know. I can't really say. It's been a lot of tough. Probably the what's his name?
Castillo?
No, not
No.
Castillo. I can't think of the guy's name actually right now, but he was tough. I fought him in Detroit, and I was off for 9 months. I can't think of his name right now, but very, very tough opponent.
Okay.
See, the no-names, you got to realize the no-name guys are the guys you got to watch out for. It's the guys with the names you don't have to worry about, but it's Emmanuel Augustus.
Emmanuel Augustus, okay.
Tough. But he changed his name. It was Emmanuel Burton when I fought him, but he eventually changed his name to Emmanuel Augustus. So, tough opponent.
All right, March 8th, Canelo Angulo. Who you got and why?
Angulo is a tough opponent, but Canelo has all the tools to bounce back.
All right. Let's change topics. Who deserves the MVP in the NBA this year?
I would have to say Kevin Durant.
Why?
Durant, I mean, just remarkable. You know, whereas, you know, with me being a basketball fan, Miami Heat has 3 franchise players, Bosh, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, whereas on the Oklahoma City Thunders, they only have 1 franchise player, and they're one of the best teams in the NBA.
And Westbrook's been hurt. Now he's back. A couple of real quick ones. If you had not become a professional boxer, what would Floyd Mayweather have been?
Hopefully a boxing trainer.
In the family. And if you could have fought anybody in history, regardless of weight, who would it have been?
Probably Julio Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
Or Roberto Duran, either or. Both are legends.
All right. We're looking forward to seeing you fight Maidana, but tonight we have a couple more of your fighters from the money team. Badou Jack, Jay Leon Love. They're in the same weight class. They're both undefeated. Tell us a little bit about what makes each different from the other.
Jalen Love is kind of remind me of myself. And, of course, he has that Midwest background. And from Detroit, which is, I mean, you know, Detroit has a lot of tough, remarkable fighters. You just seen a Detroit fighter face Chris Pearson. It was kind of a little bit of a tough battle. But Badou Jack, you know, he's from overseas, real slick boxer. His style kind of remind me of a Donald Curry type guy. So, you know, we keep our fingers crossed and only hope for the best. So I think both of my guys are in shape. So let's see what they do from here. And of course, we want everybody that's tuning in, and right now, continue to watch Showtime, ShoBox, Championship Boxing, themoneyteam.com.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Floyd, we wish you luck. Thanks for a few minutes.
Thank you.
All right, Barry.
Thanks very much, and thanks to Floyd Mayweather. Got his opinion on life its own self. Who do you think the MVP in the NBA is?
Why are you asking?
You know,
that,
the
Barry?
NBA, it's got that big round ball and,
I know about
and a
that.
net, you know. And did you know 2 basketballs can fit inside a rim? So why do they miss all those shots?
How
All
can
right,
they, huh?
our second fight on this 3-fight ShoBox card featuring a guy at the doorstep of a title shot against the guy who is intent on blocking the doorway. Badou Jack and Derek Edwards. Well, 39-year-old Derek Edwards is another one of those guys who falls into that category of road warrior. He not only fights anyone, anywhere, he fights anyone, anywhere, at any weight. He's fought guys from 161 pounds up to 185 pounds. Tonight he's somewhere in the middle. Edwards had only 6 amateur fights, and he's had to learn boxing on the job over an 11-year professional career. He has a record of 26-3-1 with 13 knockouts, albeit against largely overmatched opponents. He's 1-3-1 in his last 5 fights, so a good showing here tonight really would improve his stock considerably. He's shown good movement, pretty good defensive fighter in the ring, but he can be tentative and he can get outworked, and that's something that he's going to have to avoid in this fight tonight with Badou Jack. So, Steve, let's go behind the numbers on Derek Edwards.
Barry, we start with decelerating. Edwards was 25-0 when he faced fellow prospect Marcus Johnson on ShoBox 4 years ago. Since then, Edwards has had only 4 fights. Rough sledding. Yes, Edwards has lost 3 of his 5 most recent fights, but the combined record of the 3 guys who beat him, 52-1. In 5 years, I don't usually take you behind the numbers regarding age, but in this case, it's relevant. Fight Facts lists Edwards as 39 years old. The fighter insists he was born in 1979, making him 34 years old.
And he even showed you proof to that effect. Had his driver's license, said, here's how old I really am.
If you don't know, now you know. Undefeated, representing the money team, Badou Jack, the Ripper!
So despite having had only 16 professional fights, Badou Jack is on the verge of a title elimination bout with James DeGale. But he cannot forget to take care of first things first. He brings a long and successful amateur career with him, more than 150 amateur fights, including being a 2008 Olympian for his father's native Gambia. The only blemish on his record, a draw with world-class Marco Antonio Paraban, that came back in September. But he rebounded nicely on ShoBox last December when he took on tough journeyman Rogelio Medina. He dropped dropping him 3 times and doing so in most impressive fashion and walking away with a real comeback win for him. And that's what set him up for tonight. Jack, an aggressive fighter and an excellent body puncher. Biggest issue tonight, avoiding any kind of a letdown. So, Steve, once more, let's go behind the numbers.
The Badou Jack career year. He fought 6 times in 2013. He went 10 rounds for the first time, and he advanced from prospect to contender. He's been moved very smartly. Styling. Jack's benefited from being exposed to different kinds of styles. In his last 3 fights, he's faced a defensive counterpuncher, a tall, long-armed volume puncher, and a pressure fighter / puncher. And Civil Wars. Jack also benefits from all the top-shelf super middleweights at the Mayweather gym. Every day, he gets to work with J. Leon Love and top prospects Luis Arias and Ronald Gabriel, both of whom won on the undercard.
So here we go, super middleweights, Badou Jack and Derek Edwards set to go in a bout scheduled for 10 rounds or less. With that, we'll take you once more to the center of the ring, and the ring announcer, Thomas Treiber. Thomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues with our ShoBox co-feature. It is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division. Brought to you by Mayweather Promotions in association with Asha Record Breakers and Showtime. It is sanctioned by the Oneida Indian Nation Athletic Commission. Our 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Don Ackerman, John McKay, and Don Trella. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, the 3rd man in the ring, will be Charlie Fitch. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he's wearing camouflage trunks and weighed in at 168 pounds. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, by way of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. His professional record consists of 26 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Derek the Black Lion Edwards. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing silver with black and weighed in the same as his opponent, 168 pounds. A native of Stockholm, Sweden, he is now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and brings an undefeated record of 16 wins, 1 draw, with 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Badou Jack the Ripper.
Ladies and gentlemen, you both know the rules. Make this a clean fight. Touch gloves down, come on, fighting at the bell.
You see there during referee Charlie Fitch's final instructions, Jack's height advantage, the reach advantage, 5 inches basically. That's a key because Badou Jack relies so much on the jab, and Edwards is going to have to find a way to slip that. The rules here, same as our first fight, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Ref or doctor can stop the fight. You can't be saved by the bell in any round. And the accidental foul rule, if the fight ends before round 4, no contest. After that, we go to the cards, Barry.
All right, so here we go. Edwards in the camouflage trunks and Badou Jack in the white and blue. And this is a tough matchup, to be quite frank, for Derek Edwards, because he's got to get inside. And he's got to get inside against a guy with a very good jab.
Yeah, Edwards needs to waste no time. Needs to come forward. Good defense, good head movement.
Amateur experience couldn't be more different. Badou Jack fought for Gambia, the only fighter ever to fight for Gambia in the Olympics. That was in 2008. He lost in the first round.
And he's dropped with a right hand. Short right hand drops Jack, and he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. And his legs are still unsteady.
You better hold on.
I think it's a good idea. Long way to go here. And another right hand drops Jack right on his stomach.
Oh, that's it.
Should be.
I don't think so.
Should stop it.
No, no.
Should stop it. It's over just like that. I guess he got inside.
Was I saying something about the amateur experience?
Yeah, what was that?
Wow, what a shocker.
Now that's a huge upset here.
I'll say.
He was in line already for that elimination fight with the guy.
And isn't that what you said at the beginning of this show?
All he had to do is not lose here. And
everything to lose and not much to gain.
And he lost everything tonight, Barry. Wow.
in his last fight, which was a loss, Edwards got stopped. In the first round, he hurt an undefeated prospect. Hurt him badly, Matty Korobov. He's a fast starter, Badou Jack a little bit of a slow starter. That's pretty obvious right now.
I'll say. Well, and he finished it well, too. Now, Jack, I thought, was all done dancing after the first one.
Yeah, agreed. He never regained his legs anyway.
Right.
And there was nothing, and we've seen Badou Jack a lot of times in New York and on Showtime and all our different shows. There was nothing to suggest that he had any kind of chin problem. I think he just got caught cold in the first round.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen, you know, it's really funny because I was going to make a comment about that. He hadn't broken a sweat coming into the ring. And so many times we've seen those flash knockdowns where a fighter doesn't really get hurt. But in this case, he did get hurt. For all intent, that was the end of the fight.
I like to see the repeat of the fight. I'm not sure, but it looked to me like it was an overhand on top of the head, maybe. I don't know.
All right, we'll probably get a chance to see it. Right now, let's take it to Thomas Treiber and make this official. Thomas?
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute, 1 second of round number 1. Our referee in charge, Charlie Fitch, stops the contest. Your winner by way of technical knockout, Derek the Black Lion Edwards.
Well, that's the way to overcome a 1-3-1 recent record. So there's your winner, Derek Edwards. Here we go.
I'm stunned, just not as stunned as Badou Jack is. Here's a look at the entire fight. It only goes a minute and a second.
This is a tough matchup, to be quite frank, for Derek Edwards, because he's got to get inside. And he's got to get inside against a guy with a very good jab. You can see Jack coming in here just now,
Edwards
starting to break a sweat.
No time. Just to come forward.
Yeah, and Edwards just missed with that first right hand he threw. Amateur experience couldn't be more different. Again, the right hand. Edwards was zeroing in with that right hand from the very beginning. That's for sure. That's the punch he was looking for. He lost in the first round. There it is.
It was perfect.
It was an overhand. Overhand, right?
It wasn't on the top of the head.
No, right.
It wasn't on top of the head, no.
But it was a counter right hand.
Yeah, it was.
Now he's smiling there, sort of an ironic smile, because he's saying, I can't believe this is happening to me, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But he wasn't okay.
And almost the same punch.
There he fell on his face trying to get up. And this, you can't even question Charlie Fitch's decision there.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely not.
Watch Badou Jack throw out a jab, right? There.
Huh.
Now, did he not bring that jab back quick enough, Raul, or was it just perfect timing by Edwards?
I think it was perfect time. Look at that. Beautiful counter. I mean, he kind of, it looked like he took a little step back and then bam, over the top. Beautiful counter by Edwards.
One more time. Wow, he did walk into that shot, didn't he?
He did, but it was perfectly timed.
He could actually stop the fight after the first knockdown. You said the fight was over after the first knockdown.
Yeah.
Basically, you were right. But the way he wobbled along the ropes, and then here's the second knockdown. Watch Badou Jack trying to hold, desperately trying to hold, but it didn't take much to send him down face first the second time.
Yeah, he had no legs really after the first knockdown.
Yeah, and even his equilibrium was out. I mean, you could see where he tried to get up and he went back down. And
yeah, he tried to do the right thing there, tried to grab him, but he wasn't strong enough.
It's the fighter's instinct, you know. I mean, at that point you're hurt, but you're still thinking, I got to do something. I got to hold on, you know. Tough loss for Badou Jack.
Yeah, huge step backward for him. He had been moved so smartly, taking the small steps up the ladder. And we talked about him having an elimination bout with James DeGale, who fights tomorrow night in England. There won't be an elimination bout involving Badou Jack.
There'll be some rethinking. And for the veteran Derek Edwards, now his record is a pretty shiny 27-3-1.
Career reborn out of nowhere.
Yes, yes.
There was nothing on Jack's history to suggest that he had a bad chin. There was nothing on Edwards' history to suggest he could land that kind of punch with that kind of power.
Edwards is probably thinking, why don't I get a shot at Degas?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, as a fighter's mentality, you go in there and you knock out the guy that's lined up to fight the big fight. Why not? I mean, that's the way you're going to think.
And I'm sure his people will make that case. I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll make that case. Well, still to come, our main event, Jay Leon Love and Vladimir Biasi. It's a 10-round super middleweight fight, but first, here's what we have to look forward to on the Showtime Sports Calendar.